Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool here, back with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today I'm going to be talking about the new ML5 unit that just came out on the Mystic Banner rotation, ML Lilias, or Conqueror Lilias. Now she's also going to be run alongside the 4-star ML unit, Sinful Angelica, which I'll also talk about. Now first things first, when you're looking at Mystic Banners guys, before you decide if you want to pull or not on the banner, especially for mid-game players and early game players, you guys want to always look at the 5-star hero, that's RGB with it, and the 5-star artifact as well, because if you look at the chances here, you'll see that there is a equal chance to get either the 5-star RGB and the ML 5-star as well. So you want to make sure that even if you don't get the ML 5-star and you get the RGB 5-star, because you miss out on that 50-50 chance, then you get a decent hero that's actually usable. And in this case, Overgrown is not that great, right? And Doctor's Bag is good, but it's kind of niche, so I wouldn't really pull on this week if you guys don't mind waiting a bit. You guys want to look at the next week. Ada is also not that great, and Albastron is not that great either, so you might want to even wait like 2 weeks before pulling, right? Now if you guys can't wait for that long, you guys want to pull right away, that's fine as well. Just keep in mind you're going to miss out on the opportunity, and if you accidentally pull Overgrown or Doctor's Bag, it might not be as good as if you pulled a unit on the next week or the week after's rotation, right? It could have like a cigarette, a Tamron, right, or a really good 5-star artifact like Alexa's Basket, and so forth. Now, getting started, let's talk about the ML 5-star right away, Conqueror Lilias. So if we look at her skills right now, basically she's kind of similar to normal Lilias or red Lilias because she has that dual attack with her S1. Her S1's actually like the exact same, but her S3 and S2 are going to be completely different. So first off, notice she's a warrior unit, right? So she can't be run on like Aureus and stuff like that. You can run her on different artifacts, and for her S3, it's going to be an AoE attack that gives you a vigor buff, which is attack and defense by 30%. So it's basically kind of like an attack and defense buff on your entire team for 2 turns, and it can't be dispelled. Also, you'll decrease buff durations of all enemies by 1 turn, meaning you can strip immunities, barriers that are up, just anything in general. Kind of works like Rem's S2, and then you can decrease attack. Now, decrease attack is a very powerful debuff in this game because it decreases by 50%. Any DPS unit that gets hit by this is going to do, obviously, half the damage, but that's a lot of damage that you're mitigating, right? And you also get an extra turn right after, and after that, you can use your S2. So basically, you can CR push 1 unit. So if you can make Conqueror Lilias go first on your team at like 270 plus speed with a decent amount of effectiveness to strip immunity buffs with her S3, you can actually S3 and open, give everyone defense buff and attack buff through vigor, decrease the buff durations, decrease the enemy's attack to neuter them, and then S2 their opener or their unit that's going to go next. And what it does is it'll push back their CR, and also if that gets resisted, you can actually inflict redirected provoke, which is kind of like a CC lock where they won't be able to do their opener in general. Also, you get a barrier to yourself and an ally with the highest max HP for 2 turns, and it'll scale with the allies max HP, not Conqueror Lilias. So you're mostly going to see her being run on a super fast build with a effectiveness setup, because her S2 will make her decently tanky as well, because you could just use it on a tank and then make Conqueror Lilias herself super tanky with that really fat shield that scales with that, allies HP. Now, her imprints are pretty good as well. She has an attack imprint for her team, and then for herself, it's an HP imprint, which is nice because you want to make her super bulky. Not like the best in the game, but not the worst either. Pretty decent. And if we look at her animations, actually pretty sick. So I think this unit is going to be pretty strong. Might even be like borderline OP, but I don't think she'll be like game breaking or like game changing. But her animations look crazy, so that's kind of the big reason why I want to pull for her. Like, this looks insane. But I could be wrong. She might be like game breakingly OP, but definitely she's going to be at the very worst very strong, or at least strong, because her kit is crazy, right? 4 dual attacks in her S1 makes her so that if she's super fast, right, similar to how Cerise works, you just keep going, and if you don't focus her down, right, she's going to just keep bringing her teammates over and over, and if you get unlucky against her, she'll bring one of her DPS and one-shot one of your units. Also, her S3 is just very powerful. It's a very long cooldown, though. That's the very bad thing. But keep in mind, you're going to build her super fast, so you'll be able to cycle it pretty quickly. Her S2 is only 3 turns, though. It's not too long, so you'll be able to cycle it pretty quick. And yeah, the shield is pretty small, but it's because, what's it called? Her base HP is really low right now because she doesn't have gear on. But yeah, very, very powerful unit. It looks like, I think she's going to be pretty strong. The only thing is, keep in mind that the banner that's coming out either after her or the one after is going to be Arbiter Villager, because the RTA skin that they're releasing for being Masters and above is Arbiter Villager, which means they're going to release that unit very soon. So if you guys pulled for a different unit from the Moonlight Connections and you either made a mistake, or you wanted like Spectre Tenebria or a different unit that you liked, which is fine, then you might want to actually skip her and pull for Arbiter Villager, because Arbiter Villager is super strong in PvE and PvP. I think Conqueror Lilias might be a little bit more better in PvP. Arbiter Villager has fallen a little bit off, but he's still very powerful everywhere, don't get me wrong. He's still overpowered, so keep that in mind if you guys want to pull for Arbiter Villager and you don't have him. Now, talking about Sinful Angelica, guys. So Sinful Angelica is very decent unit as well. She's a very good counter to Arbiter Villager and also like reviving units like Maid Chloe. And what she does is she has immortality to herself, and what you want to do is build her on high effect resist so it can't get stripped, and she will also give everyone attack buff and speed buff, right? So you not only do you have the attack buff, but you have speed buff, so you can get away with having your units around her on a lower speed build. But she's going to be mostly used in cleave builds for PvP. Now, her S2 is that when she's immortal, right? Which is from her S3. That's why you want to make sure you have effect resist so you can't get stripped off. People cannot revive on the enemy team. And every time an ally dies, right, you actually recover HP on your team as well. That one's not as important. Just keep in mind when she has her immortality up, people are not going to be able to revive. But after immortality gets stripped or runs out, they will be able to revive as normal. Her S1 is a dual attack when you're immortal. So it kind of works like Lilias and Conqueror Lilias, right? And you're going to be immortal for 2 turns. So you can bring in 2 dual attacks. And you also have a chance to decrease attack. Yeah, very, very powerful skill. Force dual attacks in this game are just really OP. So yeah, Sinful Angelica, mostly going to be used in like offensive cleave situations. She's a good cleaver in PvP offense because she has the attack buff and speed buff. If you're running like Green Villager as your cleaver, very strong because his S3 damage also scales with speed. But yeah, very good offensive cleaver with the immortality, unable to revive effect, and the attack buff as well. You'll see her used a lot in offense teams against like Arbiter Villagers. And in World Arena / RTA, she's also pretty decent against Maid Chloe teams if you have her super fast and you're running like a very hyper offensive team. Now in PvE, she's also pretty decent. So in PvE, she's going to be very, very important for Wyvern one-shot. You actually need her for Wyvern one-shot teams basically because of her force dual attack, and also the fact that she can tank the boss and not die, and then also get another force dual attack in. So you really want to make sure you pull for her if you are lacking. If you don't have her, I guess, for your Wyvern one-shot team, you guys are wondering what to run, because she's pretty much required for Wyvern one-shot teams, and she's also a very good option for PvP offense arena builds and Guild Wars and World Arena as well if you guys like playing super aggressive or cleave heavy. Now, in general, what do I think about these units? So I think the ML 5-star and the 4-star are very, very good. Sinful Angelica is a very good unit. Conqueror Lilias looks pretty bonkers, but to be honest, units look different on paper than they actually perform. Now, I personally think Conqueror Lilias looks pretty good on paper and will probably be pretty good in this current meta. Anything that's fast that can disrupt is also always very good, and she also has some bulkiness with her S2, and she also will be able to, if she survives long enough, which she should, she'll be able to trigger dual attacks over and over, make her a very strong damage threat as well. So I think she's going to be a very good unit, even though she hasn't been tested that much. But the thing is, if you guys want to pull for her, maybe you guys want to wait for the banner after Ada, so in about 2 weeks. That way you can wait for more testing. I'll probably try to pull her and use my Sky Stones and pity her and try to test her out so you guys can see. But yeah, the current RGB and the artifact rotation is not that great. Now, if you are a newer player and you want to pull for her as well, it might be even worth it to try to wait for Daydream Joker to show up in the 3-star artifacts, because Daydream Joker is like one of the most important artifacts to get early game, and the best source of getting it is going to be Mystic Banners as well if it's in the rotation. Now, I hope this should you pull video helps you out in deciding whether to pull for Conqueror Lilias and Sinful Angelica, guys. And as always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video and want more Mystic Banner should you pulls. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace. Happy holidays.